Okay guys, I'll record the flight for you. You can see yourselves on the TV screen in front. You can wave hello if you like. Okay, now I'll put on the outside camera. Enough of being movie stars. We'll get all the scenery now. That's what you're probably here for.
Absolutely.
Okay guys, these are all the apostles here out off our right. And what we'll do is we'll count them out for you on the return trip.
How many of them actually sort of are collapsing or collapsed by now?
Okay, so we've only lost one. They are called the 12 apostles, but there was only ever originally 9.
Oh, right.
So we lost one, so we've got 8 left.
8 apostles.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they're all behind us now. Now the next rock feature out to the right is called the Twin Sisters. And the tall skinny one in the middle is called the Salt and Pepper Shaker.
Oh, yeah.
Long skinny one near the land is called the Razorback.
Yeah.
Now this island out in front of us, with all the grass on top, is Muttonbird Island. If you look over your right shoulder where the car park is and the beach, that is the Lockhart Gorge. Now next on the right we have Thunder Cave.
Oh yeah.
And this point down here is Broken Head. Over the back you have the Sherbrooke River.
The Sherbrooke River.
Sherbrooke River, yes.
There's the Sherbrooke River about 5 miles from where we live.
Alright.
This one's actually got more water in it.
Yeah. Now this next rock feature is called Baker's Oven. Kind of looks like an old wood fire oven with a hole underneath.
Yep.
Other people say it looks like a big piece of cheesecake.
That's good.
It's a good calm flying day because I expected there to be much more turbulence.
Yeah, no, it's not very turbulent in helicopters. They smooth it out for us. This next rock feature is Sentinel Rock, and this is the largest one in the Port Campbell National Park. That one stands at over 70 metres tall. If you look over your right shoulder, there's a nice cove, and that's called a Horseshoe Cove because it looks like a horseshoe. Yeah, we don't get as much turbulence as light aircraft, but if it's very strong gusty wind, that's when you notice it a bit more. Makes it a bit more challenging for the flying, but we still do fly. But yeah, most people's impression of a helicopter is like you're floating. Like we're actually doing 200 kilometres an hour through the air at the moment.
unique view, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, off to our right is the township of Port Campbell. That's home to approximately 600 residents, and in the summertime the town's population swells to over 3,000, just with all the tourists that visit the area.
The place on the cove that does superb paninis. We have them this lunchtime, yeah.
Oh, right, yes.
Very good.
Alcove, the cafe.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, it is quite good there. Now this next bay is called 2 Mile Bay. And then up in front we have the next rock feature, and that is called the Arch.
That's the one with the steps going down to it. I know that was the grotto.
Yeah, that's right, yeah, the grotto is a bit further along. So it goes the Arch, London Bridge, and then the grotto, yep. You've had a look from the ground?
Yep.
Ah, nice. This gives you a totally different perspective of all the cliffs and the colours in the cliffs.
Yeah. It does look totally different.
Yeah, that's right.
Good temperature today for this sort of, well, if we're driving along the coast, nothing's too hot.
Yeah, that's right. This next point here is called Point Hess, and if you look very closely you can see a set of steps going down the rock face.
Alright.
They were carved by the local fishermen in the 50s to
Amazing,
access the rock shelf down there for fishing.
Brave men.
And this is a famous London Bridge. So now we call it the London Arch, because in 1990, part of the bridge connecting to the mainland fell down into the ocean.
Amazing.
Now I'll put it on the inside camera for the turn, and give yourselves a wave or a thumbs up or whatever you'd like to do.
The royal wave.
All right.
How far out to sea does any shipping go past? Quite a long way out.
No, we do see ships go past quite often. Yeah, they're probably just a bit on this side of the horizon, so they're not that far out really.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So you can see why we call it the London Arch, guys,
Oh yeah.
because you've got that hole underneath that is being formed.
Have you been to London?
I have actually.
Good.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen the London Bridge over there. Yeah, I've done a little bit of travelling around and visiting people all parts of the world, so yeah, I've had a bit of a look. I did enjoy London, it was good spot. Not really too keen on Manchester. But,
we don't know Manchester very well. No.
yeah. But I've been to Northampton. That was pretty good. And out in the country there, in the countryside.
Pretty flat just inland, isn't it, really? A bit of a plateau, if you like.
Yeah, that's right. All the land's up high on the plateau, yep.
And you just pick out one or two high points as you go inland.
Yeah, exactly right. So there is a lot of farming out here, as you can see.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of cattle farming. Big milk industry down this way. Up in Warrnambool you've got the butter factory, milk and butter factory. So the township of Port Campbell here got its name after a famous whale fisherman. His name was Captain Alexander Campbell. So there's a Campbell portion, and the port comes from the port opening.
Up with all the from the land first.
Okay, ma'am, can you put your microphone closer to your mouth? It's just cutting in and out.
Said I'm glad we saw the features from the land first.
First, yes, that's right. Yeah, you do get to appreciate it from the air doing it that way. Okay, so just to recap, Sentinel Rock, biggest one in the national park. You start looking at the cars on the Great Ocean Road and then look at the rock, it gives you an idea of how big that one really is.
Yeah.
And then we had Horseshoe Cove. So all these cliffs that you see are made of very soft limestone. And the reason why they're eroding so quickly is because of the force of the waves on them. And the erosion is meant to erode at approximately 2 to 5 centimetres every year. Now if you start looking at the base of the cliffs and then look up, and you'll see a black line. And now that's the actual watermark.
Okay.
That's all the waves crashing on the rocks. And to give you a big indication of how big the swell gets, you look at Baker's Oven, that very high black mark. So the swell height down here does get up to 8 metres some days.
If it's a southerly wind then, how far is it down to Antarctica?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
A few thousand.
Yeah, it's a long trip from here.
Because there's a lot of ocean for the swell to build up on, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a very exposed coastline along here. So Muttonbird Island, scene of the famous Lockhart shipwreck. And in 1878, the captain got lost in the sea fog, and he actually struck the southern tip of the island there. And unfortunately, out of 54 passengers and crew, only 2 managed to survive the shipwreck. And they got washed up to the beach that you see, and that's why it's called the Lockhart Gorge, named after the ship. So as we were saying, there was only ever 9 apostles, and we have 8 remaining. Now I'll count them out for you. So this is apostle number 1 with the grass on top.
Okay.
Number 2 is very close to the coastline, the very small one in between.
Alright, yeah.
And then this is number 3. And then you have a group of 4, and it's 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now the pile of rocks after 7 was number 8.
Right.
And that was called the Needle, and that collapsed in July 2005.
Oh,
And
so
then-
very recent. Then.
Yeah, so 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then number 9. So as you can see, if you start looking at the base of the cliffs, there are lots of smaller rocks. So it is moving very quickly.
No warning about these. Did anybody happen to catch that on camera or phone, do you know? The fall?
I'm not sure actually. There has been a few bits of footage caught of other rocks collapsing, but I'm not sure about the actual that one.
Because these days there's so many millions of people around with
Yeah, that's right.
smartphones filming everything, aren't there, that so much gets caught.
That's right. So if you get your cameras ready at the left, we'll be turning across the coast. Okay guys, hope you've enjoyed the flight with us today.
Magic, thank
It's
you.
been amazing.
Very good.
I can't believe I've enjoyed it that much.
That it?
Can't believe I've enjoyed it that much. It's smoother than a 777. It must be the pilot.
I'll take that as a compliment
Oh,
there,
dude.
Mike.
Please, I'll be very impressed.
Alright, I'm glad. So just remain seated with your seatbelt fastened, guys, until we're back on the ground. And the guys will come and assist you out of the helicopter.
Thank you.
No worries. Thank you very much,
Hey.
guys. Can wave goodbye. Oh, beautiful. Enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thank you.
Very much.
No worries.
Cheers, sir.
Thank you, Mike.